We are going to go into a severe weather forecast, which will probably include risks for severe weather in the south and deep south, which would include areas along the lower Mississippi Valley, and even parts southeast and into the Gulf Coast, which could be bringing some severe weather and maybe some tornadoes, but we're all uncertain on that right now because this is about 4 to 5 days out. So we just want to get that in mind because it's showing all over the models and it's even on Swim Prediction Center's outlooks. Now, before you get started here, if you can please consider subscribing and liking this video, that'd be very nice if you enjoy our coverage. And let's get heading into the for what next Wednesday. We have a severe threat area for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, which is in the 15% yellow shaded area. It could mean all hazards. It could mean wind or hail. I mean, we're not too sure on that, but I feel like a tornado threat can't be ruled out with this storm activity. And with time, as you can see, the next outlook, you see this zone shifts eastward. And as you can see right here, it includes areas such as Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and southernmost reaches of Missouri and Kentucky. And this is all kind of just south of the Ohio River Valley, so they kind of trimmed out like all areas along the Ohio Valley, let you know the sun reaches Illinois, Indiana, that were in the last outlook, but if you can see here, it's all south of it now. As you once again can see with the 15% shaded area for severe weather threat, which would be next Thursday. There are no areas outlook beyond this day, but they say there could be a lingering threat depending on how fast this system kind of moves. For over here, further east in the southeast and Atlantic, and even parts of Florida. But too much uncertainty on that, but I feel like it's a possibility. But like, let's head into the models and see how they kind of treat this whole thing that's evolving and probably going to occur. It's Wednesday. We're going to head into the afternoon. You can see some instability building across Central Plains and the Southern Plains. That would be including areas such as the southern Kansas and Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana. You know, these areas are highlighting Wednesday's severe outlook. Then for Thursday's severe weather outlook, there is that instability again for like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, even the Carolinas, and Florida. And for like Friday's severe weather threat, it would mostly be like confined to Florida because the storm is just kind of really kind of fast and everything, and this cold front would probably have passed by the southeast already before you could get much severe weather in the daytime. So Florida is kind of still ahead of it, so that would mean it could still see severe weather even the Saturday, but I'm not sure about that. But I feel like Friday is a better time for that because I think that's where the better dynamics align. And Thursday's severe weather threat is also going to be monitored because it's with the same system, of course. Well, yeah, and that's where I think it'll be strongest for some of the Gulf Coast areas, such as Louisiana and Mississippi. But, like, there's still plenty of time for things to change, but we're like 4 to 5 days out at this point. So, just want to head into that, and there's need some more ingredients we're going to cover. But, like, you can see where that main threat area is. Again, like, you go from the southern plains to, like, the Gulf Coast, southeast Florida. That's where we will be monitoring for any severe weather threat that would occur in these areas. So now we're going to go into the other ingredients, starting to get a little detailed as we head sooner to the event and models begin to agree on what we could be seeing for the next few days. Rates, you can see they're really favorable for that convection setting off, which would be in the southern plains. We're talking like Wednesday, like afternoon, evening. And then even though they like kind of decrease with time, that would be like Thursday, but they're still kind of favorable for that convection. And I feel like it's going to be more of a squall line event, but if any supercells were to occur, it would be this area once again, which is where that highest instability is. And if you look in further on, you can see the best like lab sites would be Wednesday once again in Southern Plains, but that isn't all too much of a concern because the other conditions for the severe weather are basically there and they're kind of overlapping, so that's what really is setting this whole severe weather thing off. for the southeast and the Southern Plains Wednesday and Thursday next week, maybe even later into Friday for Florida. And obviously this whole thing kind of sets off Friday night and the Saturday. But this is just one of the conditions that we're looking at, which would mean favorable for severe weather, which would be like, yeah, just as I mentioned like several times already. Now we're going to see the other conditions which we are going to look at, and you'll see more on what details that we could be seeing with the severe weather, and like, again, going into the severe weather is bulk shear, and as you can see, that's also very favorable. This is one of the things that can easily make severe weather a possibility, no matter the instability. But it has to be there. This in like it can even be very weak, and you can still see severe weather, and it's all because of the bulk shear and also the moisture return across from the Gulf Coast. So these areas that would be seeing severe weather, let's say Oklahoma, Texas, like Wednesday afternoon, evening, there's the favorable bulk shear, and then that moves eastward. So does the active jet stream, which you can see over here in the red and yellow zones, which could also be ending up where that severe weather could be along. So like Thursday, the severe weather would be over here. That's also going to remain in the active jet stream, or like let's say the active bulk shear zone. And the jet is like pretty strong once again, and you can also see it. So this is going to be very ripe for severe weather, given the Gulf moisture like surging northward and per the system that we're expecting to see. So that just brings up a whole severe weather outbreak. I don't know about like significant severe weather, but I feel like we could be heading in that direction if the instability gets any stronger in the models and all that, and if the trends continue to like go stronger. But like I'm just saying in general, if trends were going to start like really giving stronger instability, then I think that would mean more severe. Even if the system just goes back slowing, it's been speeding up a little bit in the models. But if it also slows, it could mean more time for the Gulf moisture to surge northward and a longer severe weather duration event. So that could be factors in our severe weather forecast that maybe we're not so certain about yet, but definitely some time to refine all that before the event. And we're going to head into the moisture amount of it, and you'll see like the other important ingredient that's points. We're going to head into Wednesday afternoon. The dew points, which would be values in the 50s, extend for all the way into Kansas, Missouri, in the Kansas City area. That's how about as far north as you can get for Wednesday afternoon. And then it all in the system moves east, and then you start to see those 50s dew points also surging northward, as well as the 60s. Dew points in the 60s would be more like, let's say like Wednesday. Oh no, that's like, yeah, Wednesday, and then heading into Thursday morning, you can see that surging northward from the Gulf Coast into Texas, Louisiana, also possibly the southeast corner of Oklahoma, as well as areas such as Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee as well, and as well as Carolinas and maybe even Virginia. But again, I feel like with the fast-moving system, these areas have a limited chance of seeing any severe weather. Thursday or Friday, that's when this moisture return would be at its best for that region. But these areas over here are going to see the best moisture return and the best conditions, which will be aligning with each other, bringing the severe weather event all together for the perfect ingredients to align. And again, they're all there for this whole system to take its course and drop some severe weather, and as well as some snow. But today we're going to focus on the severe weather setup, because this is the whole dynamic thing, and models have continued to trend towards this severe weather event happening, and so does the Storm Prediction Center outlooks indicate this. But again, this is an update here, and there's going to be like at least one or two more updates before we're likely going to stream. But even for the stream, we'll likely focus on the severe weather and stuff, because that's what's more important. And I feel like even for the snow amounts, they could be less than like what the past model ones been showing, but I haven't looked too much into that even. So definitely something to look at because it's a whole very large storm system that's like also seeing like severe weather events. Obviously, is what we're like talking about and focusing today's video on for the south. So if you have not done so already, please monitor the forecast and continue to check back on us. We bring constant updates on the storm and hope you have a good day.